前面呢是竭尽全力做好所有的工作。
So just we coming back from the site, we think that your honorable minister is familiar with the situation now. At the beginning of this situation, we pay a lot of efforts and attention to just hand over the situation there to stop the discharge.
通过线上的查看呢，就是你们更清楚情况。那么我们希望呢，就是部长先生和各位专家能给我们后续工作更多的指导。
So after the site, we sincerely hope that your honorable minister and your expert team can give us more guidance for the following steps. What we are going to take measures.
我们一定尽最大的努力，把影响放到最小。
We will try our best to try all the efforts to reduce the side effect of this accident.
非常感谢。
Thank you very much.
Mr. Moxon, you want to add?
No, sir. I think we appreciate to hear your comments following your visit.
All right. Thank you, colleagues. All protocols observed in the interest of time. First of all, to appreciate all the government officials who have accompanied me on this delegation, including the board chair for Zambia, but most importantly, members of the press who accompanied us to this visit. Obviously, this visit has enabled my delegation to have an in-depth understanding of the cause of this accident, but also the magnitude of this accident, and also the effects therein. So it is important, very important, that we came on the ground to see for ourselves and appreciate the storage facilities and what could have caused the accident in question. Further, this visit has given us an opportunity to appreciate the interventions that have been put in place, and I'm happy to note that we have continued with these interventions, including the lime dosing, to ensure that we continue normalizing the quality of water and diluting any remaining aspects of acidic fluids that could still be around. So let us continue to ensure that we push these interventions further, so that within the shortest possible time we could probably normalize the interruptions that have been caused. We normalize the way of life of our people who have been affected by this accident. Obviously, it is very clear from the visit that we still have a lot of work to do around ensuring that the integrity of the tailings storage facilities, and other such storage facilities, to ensure that the integrity is of acceptable standard and it's up to the standard to avoid accidents. And we will be talking as a ministry with our counterparts who are responsible for ensuring the integrity of such facilities, so that we can upscale the surveillance, the monitoring, so that we avoid the reoccurrence of such accidents. But most importantly, I want to urge you, our colleagues, to also ensure that we scale up the monitoring, because the dam that collapsed, of course, there are investigations that are still being carried out, but from the briefing, it's clear that the dam which caused this accident, which contributed mainly to this accident, is fairly new. So we need to ensure that we investigate further to really understand what caused that collapse. And government, I want to make it very clear, government, through the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment, will be as transparent as possible to ensure that all the necessary information related to this accident is given to the public and the affected communities. So I want us to work together, ZEMA, WAMA, all other government offices at the district level, the various ministries, but also management of cyanometals, to ensure that all the necessary information which must be availed to government or must be availed to the public is given as such. We must be very transparent, because this government believes in transparency. This accident affects the life of our people, the lives of our people around the various districts. Many lives have been inconvenienced, businesses have been inconvenienced, water supply and various aspects. And obviously this pollution will have long-term effects. So we must ensure that all the necessary information that is required to be given out to the government agencies must be availed. So I want to emphasize here that we must be very transparent as we go on with our investigations. I'm happy to note that management has indicated that they are bringing in an independent a team of people to carry out thorough investigations, so that we can be well informed in terms of what really could have contributed to the, the wall of the dam to collapse. I think we welcome that, but I wanted to also instruct the permanent secretary and the ZEMA that from the government point of view, we should quickly be considering to also bring an independent person, consultant, to also carry out thorough investigations on behalf of government, in particular on behalf of the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment, so that we can have a point of comparison in terms of the investigations that will be carried out by different players, including the management of cyanometals, so that then we can inform the public, we can give the public accurate and desired information from this accident. I also want to appeal to those that are carrying out assessments in terms of the damage and loss that has been occurred or occasioned to our people, that they must expedite the process. It is based on the information that is going to come out of that assessment that we should be talking about restoration and compensation. So we would want this process to be done expeditiously, as it was mentioned earlier in the morning when we met, that quite a number of our communities, members of the affected communities, have been undertaking gardening along the affected water bodies, and most of them have lost their fields. So it will only be fair that we expedite the assessments, come up with the information which will inform the extent of restoration and compensation. So let us work together to ensure that that is done expeditiously. I also take note of your apology to the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, on this accident, and indeed to the people of Zambia. Your apology is well noted. We will be able to convey that, but let us ensure that we work very hard to remedy what has happened through the interventions that I've already seen, but most importantly, to avoid a repeat of what has happened. Safety precautions should be top on your list of activities. I want to end by saying that the order which was issued by ZEMA effective 21st February, among other things to cease operations, still remains in force. So the assumption and the information that is being peddled around that government has not taken action is not correct, because government through Zambia Environmental Management Agency has issued an order with a number of directives in there. And this order still remains in force until such a time that we satisfy the demands as outlined in that order. There are reports that are expected. In fact, one of them is due, which is expected to be given to ZEMA. We expect that all that should be done. So the order still remains in force. With that said, I want once again to thank all the ministries, in particular the Minister of Mines, my colleague, the Minister of Mines, Honorable Kawuswe, who was here earlier, the Provincial Minister, Honorable Matambo, who's been on the ground since this accident happened, the District Commissioners, members of the press who've been working very hard to ensure that the information coming from Sino Metals Management and also from the side of the government is being availed to the public. I want to commend you, and through you assure the general public that we are working around the clock to ensure that this situation is normalized, and as we speak, the contamination in the water has been reduced and almost normalized. As you heard, the pH levels have improved significantly. The acceptable levels are around 7 to 8, between 7 to 8, and we are in the range of 6.9 to 7.4, so we are within that range, meaning that the water standard has been normalized, and some of the utility companies have started abstracting water, and we hope that in the next 48 hours we should get the situation in terms of water supply to the various communities under control. So we are very grateful that our people have been patient, but we want to emphasize once again that we are still monitoring the situation, we are still scaling up the interventions. We want to urge our people, please avoid accessing foodstuffs such as fresh fish from the street. Let us take precautions, because there's a lot of fish which has died as a result of this contamination, and we wouldn't want people to consume this fish. So again, we appeal to the Fourth Estate, the various media houses, to ensure that this information goes out to the people there. Let us remain calm, let us remain patient, but let us also remain very vigilant that in our communities, the affected communities around Mwambashi River, Kafue River, on the copperbelt, all those surrounding communities must not access fresh fish from the street, because you might just end up pouncing on the fish which was just picked out of this accident. Those who've lost crops, vegetable gardens, again we appeal that you remain calm and patient as the assessments are being done to determine what level of compensation will have to be given to the communities. So once again, thank you very much for accompanying us on this tour to have an in-depth understanding of this accident, very regrettable accident, and like I said in the morning, the government regrets this accident. We regret that it happened, but we'll continue working with the various stakeholders to minimize the inconvenience that has been occasioned to our people and the various communities. Thank you very much, and I'll give a few minutes to the PS to just add one or two things, and then we'll end with the board chairperson for Zema to also add a few words. PS. All right, so at this stage, we will ask our colleagues from the media houses to take leave so that we could have a closed door session. The Zema board chair and the PS will speak in the closed session. Thank you very much, colleagues. We are still together, but just give us about 15 minutes for a closed door session.